Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird, true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 391, written by Slidecancels. When a YouTuber randomly yells, "Wake up!" I feel like this is gonna sound insane, but I've been thinking about this for 2 days now, and I feel like I have to post this to see if anyone possibly has an explanation. 2 nights ago, me and my girlfriend were laying in bed with YouTube on the TV in the bedroom. I watched it while she sat on her phone or read. I have the YouTube autoplay feature on, so when one video ends, it just immediately plays the next one. I was watching a ton of Nick Merck's videos that night. For those who don't know, Nick Merck's is a gaming streamer / YouTuber. So I ended up falling asleep while the videos are playing, and the TV is on lower than half volume, because it's late and was pretty much just background noise, honestly. I don't know how long exactly I was asleep, but it couldn't have been very long because my girlfriend was still awake reading when this happened. But as I'm asleep, I hear clear as day and extremely loudly Nick Merckx himself go, "Wake up," in the most stern, bone-chilling tone. The only way I've ever heard someone else say this in this way is in Spider-Man: Far From Home, when Mysterio and Spider-Man are fighting, and Mysterio goes, "It's time to wake up," to him. That's the only thing I can compare it to. I jerked awake and was facing the TV, and I swear to God for a split second I saw Nick Merck's face in full screen staring straight into the camera, and then it immediately went back into gameplay with him talking to his teammates and stuff like nothing was happening. I looked over at my girlfriend and she was staring at the TV with a shocked look on her face. I asked her, "Did you hear that?" And she said, "Yeah," and sounded scared. I picked up the remote and rewinded a full minute in the video, and we both sat and watched it through, and it did not happen again in the video. He never once screams, "Wake up," nor does he go full face cam in the video. He only ever does full face cam in the intros, and he hasn't even been doing intros lately, so there's literally no full face cam at all in this video. I have no clue what happened. Can someone explain this? Edit. I appreciate all your jokes. Having people be able to not only relate to this, but make jokes about it is soothing in a way. A few points. 1. Did I get confirmation the next day from my girlfriend, or just when I woke up? After this happened, I didn't fall asleep for a while, and we stayed up together, freaked out for about an hour and a half, talking about what the hell just happened. As well as the next night, we both said we should just keep the TV off when going to bed. So yes, she definitely experienced it, and it was confirmed many times that night, as well as the next day. 2. Is it possible it was an ad? No, I have YouTube Red specifically because I watch YouTube on my TV every night, and the ads, especially mid-rolls, are extremely annoying, so I never get ads on YouTube because of that. 3. Could someone have cast onto the TV with their phone, or something like that? If it's possible to cast onto an Amazon Fire Stick, then possibly. But I have now talked to everyone that lives in my house since this happened about this experience, and all of them said they don't cast the TVs ever. So if it did happen, it would have had to be a random person like a neighbor. Although my neighbors are far away as we live in a wooded area where the houses are really spread out. I'm not saying it's 100% impossible, but given all the variables I've listed and the fact that it was Nick Merckx himself yelling from the TV, I feel like the chances of this are just extremely slim. 4. Did my girlfriend see it? I have asked her if she saw it, and she says she didn't, but I feel like I need to emphasize some details here because I wrote this post very poorly before. When I say it was loud when he yelled, I mean it was loud, as if my soundbar had gone up to max volume and then immediately back down to below half volume. Also, no, it was not me who yelled it in my sleep. Me and my girlfriend have talked about this a lot, as I said previously, and she knows it was the TV. She knows what Nick Merckx sounds like, and she said when it happened, she instantly thought it was the TV as well. There's no way it was me. 5. Do I have any other weird stuff happen around my house? Not a lot, honestly. My sister watched her closet doorknob twist back and forth once, and when she finally opened the door, there was no one in there. I feel like sometimes I can hear someone whisper in my ear, but I never really care because I feel like everyone has stories about, "I swear someone just said my name," so I kinda blow it off. The only big thing, really, is as I was eating dinner with my family at the kitchen table, and from where my chair is, I can see straight ahead of me through a giant window that looks out to our backyard that is pretty big. And I swear I saw a white man in a white t-shirt and blue jeans walk through our backyard, walk behind a tree, and then was just gone. I went, "Who the hell is that?" And everyone looked out the window and my dad went, "Oh crap," and ran and grabbed his gun while we all kept watching the tree he went behind. When we went outside and looked, there was no one there. When my dad came back in, I asked him why he reacted like that because he is a very chill person who never overreacts about stuff. And he responded with, "I saw him too. He went behind the tree, right?" I said yes, and he just looked spooked and didn't say anything else about it. Case file number 392, written by Stalked Throwaway 2020. Phone disappears and then returns. Lost my old phone, which was my work phone. I do work on ladders and break phones often, so having a spare phone to use for work was amazing when I got my new phone, on December 1st, 2020. We ripped apart the entire house. The couch crevices are all open and go into the hole under the footrest, which pop out and can easily be seen and checked fully. They have been cleaned, checked, and cleaned again dozens of times since then, and they are not deep, so you can feel all the way through with little hands like mine. So we spent months looking for this stupid extra phone and never found a trace of it. Today, Halloween, my new phone goes missing too. I knew it was in the house, but had little idea where. My husband jokes that it would be scary to find my old, missing phone. As he said this, I reached into the side of my normal spot on the couch and found my old freaking phone. It was less than an inch from the edge of the couch on the inside. My husband is just as freaked out as me, and we are not prank people. Posted this in a different sub, and people just said, "Oh, it's a prank." I know it's not, and if it was, who the hell waits almost an entire year for that? No one else has access to my house. My husband did not do it. So, mind blown. I can't even. Case notes, file number 392. So, I will say this, I do think it's a prank. And I think it's a prank by whatever controls where objects are disappearing to. Because I think that while the disappearances are mostly random and accidental, probably actual glitches in the matrix, the code of the server we're running on, or the elves or whatever creatures are building each minute like in Twilight Zone. Whoever controls that, I think, are responsible entirely for them coming back. And I don't think it's a coincidence that as your husband said, "Oh, what if you find that old phone?" That's exactly what you did, in exactly that moment. No, that's not a coincidence I'll believe in. No. Some will, some force, decided now's the time to return it. Just to freak you guys out. Case file number 393, written by Vezdez90. We've all experienced time loss on the road, but this is on another level entirely. So this happened earlier today, and I'm still trying to process it, as it makes zero sense. A friend of mine and I traveled together between two towns earlier today. We agreed he'd pick me up at 8 p.m. We were both on time, and he made a joke about how we were both very punctual, because that's not usually the case when we're meeting. We got in the car, and he showed that his car had gas for exactly 681 kilometers more. A joke about our country being formed in the year 681. Which will be important later on. So we drove off pretty much immediately on what is usually 1 hour 45 minutes to 2 hours drive journey. We were expecting to arrive at roughly 10 p.m. The journey itself was on a road we've both traveled hundreds of times, so we know it very well. It's only 95 kilometers, but the road is through the mountain, so you can't really drive fast, and that's why it usually takes at least an hour and a half at the very minimum. There wasn't a lot of traffic in our direction, so we had a relaxed time chatting and driving. Also, my friend is usually a pretty slow driver, and his car isn't all that powerful. He was pretty much driving how he always does. There wasn't a single time I thought he was speeding or anything, and his driving was never brought into the conversation because of how routine everything felt. Nothing really special happened during the drive up until we arrived at the destination town, and my friend said it felt like that was the quickest journey he's had on that road ever in his life. I felt the same way, and so we checked the clock, and it was showing 8:45. Only 45 minutes had passed somehow. We were both really baffled because that's just not possible. I've been in cars speeding like hell on that road, and they never even come close to a time like that, let alone with my friends slow driving. What also adds to the mystery is now his car is showing it has enough gas to go for another 652 kilometers. Like we've only traveled for 30 kilometers. I know it's a moving metric based on how you drive, but this isn't making any sense considering how consistent he is in his driving style. He also called his grandmother to tell her we've arrived, who he had just seen before we left, and she thought he was lying to her because only 45 minutes had passed and we couldn't have possibly arrived yet. Still not sure what to do after these bizarre events.